It's not that often that Venus offers up relationship and money breakthroughs that are surprising, exciting when she's hooked up to a kite in her home sign of Libra and when she's connecting to the god of the surprise in the sign of Gemini. In fact, Uranus has only just entered into Gemini, and we're only getting a flavor of what he's going to bring our way with Venus's help every single year for the next 7 years. So let's talk about this for your sign. And welcome to my channel if you're new. My name is Lori Lothian, and this is going to be a great video to talk about something positive. The sky has been filled with some tension. We've all been feeling this kind of like, I don't know, looming intensity. Good news is I'm recording this October 7th, the day after that big, gorgeous full moon that we had on the beautiful star Alpheratz in Aries. And now we're going to come into Venus's support structures for something good trying to happen in our love, in our money, in our values, in our sense of satisfaction in life. And because she's in her home kingdom of Libra, where she has extremely strong powers, we're going to see her trying her darndest to pull off something amazing. In fact, she's got her hand on the bottom of a kite that's anchored by the heavy hitters of Pluto, Uranus, and Neptune. And because it's such an intense, transpersonal, transgenerational, epochal energy that she's trying to lift up, I'm hoping this brings us some really good stories, some true stories about justice, fairness, peace in the world. Because right now, we could all use a little bit of that. So let's go ahead and talk about it for your sign today in our video. And we'll be drawing a little inspiration for this astrology from the Time Traveler's Oracle. I forgot to tell you when this is occurring. Goodness gracious, I apologize. So Venus enters into her home kingdom of balance, peace, harmony, and all good things, Libra. She enters into that part of our heavens on the 13th of October and departs on November the 5th, 6 time zone dependent. So between October 13th and about the 5th of November, the world can expect the possibility of balance and harmony on the scales of economics, commerce, things to do with justice, fairness, legality, court and legal matters, including the Supreme Court, and including balancing the scales of peace when it comes to matters of war. I'm recording, as I said, October the 7th, and at this point, Venus is still debilitated with the south node of loss in the sign of Virgo. And in that regard, so far as I'm talking, this peace deal for Gaza, Hamas, Israel is in the works, and I'm not thinking it's going to show up before we get to October 13th in any meaningful way. If we're going to have any kind of peace in any kind of place in any kind of war, I don't think Venus is very good at delivering it in Virgo, in her fall, sign of her fall, and also with the south node. So be ready for like disappointment, but I hope by the time you watch this video that it will be something shifting in October 13th to early November to bring about solutions. So in our world astrology, I cover most of that these days in written content, free at Substack at my newsletter called the Pluto Chronicles. Go over there and take a look. It's where you're going to get my unplugged version of what I think about what's really going on in the world, but not just my personal opinion. Who cares? The astrology and things I can say over there that don't lead to any kind of punitive measures like demonetization or algorithmic suppression here on this particular platform. So join me over there as well. So guys, the thing I want to mention is that this is what I love to access when I'm sometimes stumped about what to say about something. My friend Renn, the Archetypal Universe, you guys have been watching me pull this book out of thin air for years now. And he's also a fabulous astrologer, obviously. And I sort of opened up randomly, and he's still got room in his course, by the way. It starts October 4th, so last weekend, but he's really still opening the doors for a couple more weeks for any latecomers. If you come through me, Lori, 6 weeks live classes with Renn replays available to learn how to become an archetypal astrologer or learn it for your own needs. And if you want to check that out here, go ahead and check him out. Say Lori sent you. You get a significant off the books discount by mentioning that I'm the reason you're showing up for his amazing course that I took in 2020. Somebody above my head is doing construction, so please bear with me if you hear that noise. I can't change that. And so Venus Uranus, relationship breakthroughs, a birth of love and friendship, feelings of romantic electricity, excitement, eccentric sense of style, social sparkle, and fun. And some fun quotes. And we're talking about Uranus and Venus because as she enters into 0 and 1 degrees of Libra on the 13th and 14th, she will trine Uranus in Gemini. I'll show you the picture in a minute. And that means it's going to be electrical, shocking, surprising, good stuff happening. Good for peace, good for good economic news we didn't expect, crossing one's fingers. Good for things to connect with, maybe a relief of trade tariffs, especially like Canada, US. Right now, our prime minister is talking to your president. So on October the 7th to see if we can hammer out some deals, hammer against punitive tariffs, that kind of thing. Justice, some court case pending. We don't have any justice delivered. We want to see justice happen individually and collectively. But he also has some great quotes here about Uranus, Venus and Libra, but the surprise that Uranus can bring us. And let me see that quote I was going to grab. Age cannot wither her, nor custom stale her infinite variety. A Shakespeare quote. Venus, Uranus in Shakespeare's chart is a story, if we believe that's really him. Artistic breakthroughs, epiphanies, romantic electricity and excitement, spontaneous intimacy, exhilaration, love at first sight. Yes, attractions to people outside of your usual social sphere, attempts at polyamory. Yes, freedom and outside the box love. I've seen that so often with my clients with Uranus, Venus activations. They went polyamorous for a while. Yearnings for free love, social rebellion, feelings of pleasure, abandon, breakthroughs in one's sexuality. Now, Venus is more than one's sexuality, one's gonads, one's sperm and ovum. Venus really does cover kind of like, this is a matrix, which I'm pretty sure this is a simulation. This is like when Cypher gets back in, he quits the real world, goes back to the matrix, betrays Neo. He goes in for the cigar, the wine, the steak. He wants the pleasures of the Leela, the Maya, the play of God. And that's what Venus is up to. She's like, yeah, you want a cosmetic procedure, you want more money, more glittery gold things, sparkly, fun. You want more love and romance and procreation. That's Venus as well. You want more sensual pleasure. That's Venus. You want more beautiful ideas. You want more artistic expression. So these are some Venus vibes. She's in her home kingdom of Libra. It's an air sign. This is where we get into the more erudite aspects. Venus and Taurus is like get in the garden and, plant your flowers or whatever. And then Venus and Libra is much more like the aesthetic of beauty, right? The idea of beauty, the idea of justice and fairness in the mortal plane, because all justice belongs to the divine, but we try to execute mortal justice. Thus, Libra brings us manners of courts, judges, and legal addresses. All right. So what I want to do today is show you the sky briefly. We're going to talk about two asteroids, Tisiphone, I don't know how to pronounce it. And we'll also have Orcus in there. And we also have the asteroid Phaethon, all very active in our sky as Venus slips into the sign of Libra. The asteroids are the devil is in the details, the minor details. Unfortunately, I cannot annotate for you. I've got Zoom trying to figure out back-end support. Why on my MacBook Pro, the annotation feature where I can draw that over the chart has disappeared. It's gone. It's on my old MacBook Air. I can still access it. So that's trying to be troubleshot back at Zoom right now. So hang in there with me because I'd normally be drawing all over this chart for you, but there's no such option anymore. Talking about wasting 2 hours of my day this morning with Zoom support trying to figure it out. So anyway, this is what I want you to see. I want you to see this. Venus is entering into Libra, 0 degrees on October 13th. This will be happening Monday in Pacific Daily Time around 5:30 in the evening. So what time you get to Monday evening, Eastern and Western time, Eastern and Pacific time, you're going to start feeling something shift, right? Something different. And you're going to welcome it. And you're so going to welcome it because she comes off the opposition to Saturn, which feels extremely frustrating about money, about love, about fairness, about things that you want to happen, that you value, pleasures that you seek, just not really fulfilling you the way they should or not fulfilling itself at all. And then bang, after that frustration, my video is, on Substack, I gave an all signs delineation of this transit that's active Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, around the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th of the month behind us. And then when she moves out of that and she gets thankfully outside of the bounds of her default stability, Puritan state over here, and she moves into that opposition to Neptune. And that's what's creating the kite that I would love to annotate. See that? So in world events, according to Lynn Coiner, is it Lynn Coiner? Yes. I think a kite is going to be maybe a catalytic event that changes the way we do things forever. Especially, she says, if the nodes of fate are involved. And technically, the node of fate isn't involved, but it can make for a very large world event that can redefine the rules of the game in terms of how we operate in the world. And Venus is sitting here. She's opposite Neptune retrograde in Aries. He's only been testing this out since last March, right? He's going to come back full on here next year in the spring and not leave for like 11 years. So he's getting ready to cross back into Pisces. He's not there yet. That's around October 22nd. He's retrograde, going over old territory that he's already covered since March, and he's opposite Venus. And technically, there could be something going on in our collective story that connects to when he was sitting at the 0-degree mark earlier on in the year. And that would likely take us back to world events in March and April. So I'll just leave it at that. March and April, think world events connected to mainly Israel. And in that regard, that's because Israel is a Libra rising. So that could restir up the old hornet's nest of March, April events. Technically, I think April, more accurately April, for this degree-based position. And so go back and think about April and stories. And I could get the exact date. Let me do that. Let me take a look at the date. Yeah, so where Neptune's sitting right now, like when he gets kite activated by Venus, takes us back to around the first 3 weeks of April. Like April 7th to the end of April is the area that's most reactivated, and things that were happening back then, besides a terrorist attack in Vancouver where someone rammed into people with their car, there was continued conflict between the Red Sea. Yeah, airstrikes in Gaza, civilian deaths, we all know that. Red Sea crisis, US and UK airstrikes in Yemen were ongoing in April. And, I don't really want too much world astrology here. The Russian spring offensive was started up in Ukraine, which was a new level of intensity in that particular war. Don't forget, Venus is trying to bring peace by holding the kite. So Russian-Ukraine solutions, who knows? The Gaza war solutions, perhaps. There was also the tension between Pakistan and India at the very same time, and an explosion in the port of Iran. So things to do with those themes that I just mentioned, returning for maybe some solution or whatever, especially given that Israel has its ascendant in Libra, and that's where Venus will travel. And through till November 5th, she will try to smooth out the chaos in that situation in the Middle East by bringing some sort of reconciliation, if she can pull it off. And so as I was showing you the chart, and we do it again, I just want you to know a few more things here. There's some asteroids in the mix, and I just draw us back in time to early April. Let's go back to the now. And as we watch this transit of Venus crossing over in the 7th house over here into the sign of Libra, you're going to notice that as she makes the crossing, certain people and places are in position. We have the sun connected to the asteroid Tisiphone, one of the 3 of the Greek Furies, responsible for punishing people who do wanton murder. All right, so punishing of killers and murderers, coming through Tisiphone on the sun in Libra. Now, this is interesting to me because the leader of Israel, the prime minister of Israel, has his ascendant right up here at his sun right up here near 21 degrees, and his moon 21 degrees of Libra. I don't remember the exact degree, maybe sun at 27, moon at 20. I don't remember the details, but it doesn't matter. His sun and moon are up here at this part of the sky. So if you want to think about this particular delineation, and I'll read the software to you, Tisiphone, it's asteroid 466, one of the Greek Furies that punished those who committed crimes of murder, justice, paybacks for crimes against kinship, getting what you deserve, good or bad. Alrighty, so it's kind of like cosmic justice. And so with Venus, the god of mortal justice, and the gods of cosmic justice up here in the sign that belongs to the nation of Israel, and the sun and moon of Benjamin Netanyahu, I would say that something about his path is going to be karmic comeuppance of some sort. I can't tell you what. You can see when it happens. The house of open enemies to Israel and the sun moon of Netanyahu is over here where Chiron is sitting, but also where Neptune is at the top of the kite. Finally, I did mention that there's another asteroid or two involved. This is Orcus, the Punisher of broken oaths, sitting on the south node. Someone who vowed to do something, who breaks their vow, gets punished in that particular story. And because it's ruled by Mercury with Mars and Scorpio, it could be multiple things. It could be some kind of punishing a broken oath connected to things to do with three-letter agencies, nefarious and subversive secrecy, all of that stuff, policing, all of that. And finally, I will mention briefly this particular asteroid Phaethon is with Uranus. Phaethon was basically the driver of the chariot of Helios, which was basically the driver of the sun. So Helios drove the sun across the sky in his chariot that accounted for the sunrise and sunset and the sun's motion through the heavens as observed from Earth in Greek mythology. Phaethon was the illegitimate son of Helios, and he got in touch with Daddio and guilted his dad into letting him actually fly the chariot. And it's like a kid without a driver's license. And Phaethon basically, he didn't guilt his dad. He tricked his dad because there was some kind of rule about the son was allowed to get one request from his dad, and his dad would have to say yes no matter what. And dad didn't think he was going to ask to drive the sun across the sky, and Phaethon asked that, and dad had to say yes. So then the dad did let him do that and almost destroyed the earth because Phaethon got too close to the earth and almost burned the earth, and too far and almost froze the earth because he couldn't drive the chariot. So there's something about reckless driving here, and it's happening in Gemini. I mean, we all think of Gemini right away and we think of AI technology and reckless driving, but we also wonder why it's flowing to Venus in Libra. And so if there's going to be some kind of a recklessness and some endangerment in the collective, and it's in the sign of Gemini, it could be a cyber outage or some kind of electronics malfunction or some kind of cyber attack or something like that, or a power blackout. That's the best I can come up with Uranus in Gemini. Transportation, electronics, devices connected to technology, and something a little bit shocking. Venus makes it all work out. And if something bad happened, like all the power grids in the world went down from one cyber attack or something, then what the kite will do is bring us a new form, a new solution. Does that make sense to you, that we would find a solution to the problem? So to recap that, what I'm trying to say is that as Venus around October the 13th and 14th enters into Libra, she ends up holding a kite in the sky. Kites can bring massive collective change. The way we do things will be different. New laws will be formed. New ways of understanding how to handle society could be formed. And because she's flowing to Uranus on Phaethon, who almost destroyed the Earth, Uranus Phaethon energy in Gemini, it's possible we're looking at a cyber attack, a cyber outage, I don't know, a massive seismic storm of some kind coming from the sun, like a pulse or a geomagnetic storm that causes harm to satellites or electronics or power outages or cyber attacks. And why I'm bringing this up, recording on October 7th, is that we may see some major stories coming through about this stuff around October the 13th to the 15th. But it all works out in the wash because Venus finds a solution and it makes everything better in the long run. All righty. Okay, so let's get going. Why does it say my hand is up? I do not have my hand up in my own Zoom room. Well, okay, let's go ahead and do all signs today. What we're going to talk about is the Time Traveler's Oracle, just to accompany the astrological guidance I'm about to give you. We're going to go through your sign and what are you going to do with this kite? And what are you going to do more importantly with the Venus-Uranus hookup, which is going to bring a positive surprise in your life. So we're going to go through that individually for each separate sign. Let me get that set up for us right now. I want to set the chart and then we'll start recording for you on that section. Thanks, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell. Check everything out about me down below in my description box below. My Patreon community, my Substack community, my Cosmic Moonshine newsletter, and more. Okay, guys, let's get rolling and start with Aries, of course. All right, Aries, sun, moon, and rising, settle in. We're here for a bit of time while we talk about how you're going to feel about this. Every year, Venus goes through Libra, but not holding a kite and not connected to a shock and awe surprise with Uranus in Gemini. So something fresh and exciting is happening here for you. And it looks to me like maybe there's going to be a surprise in your life connected to love and long-term committed relationship. But that's where Venus is sitting. It could be about your audience, your marketplace, your clients, the people that you serve. For the 7th house is 10 houses from the 10th, but it also is quite often simple. It's actually just the part of you that is in relationship with some other in the world, some other tangible person. And if you are a single Aries looking for love with the Neptune piece, Neptune retrograde is not prone to rose-colored glasses. I have to be clear. My experience is that he's actually rolling back the fog so you can see what's really there. So with your rolled back defogger on your windshield, your perspective on love is very, very realistic. And sometimes Neptune and Venus together bring us into like a vibe, twin flames, divine complement, all of that stuff. So if you're single, the shocking surprise from Uranus could mean that a new love story wants to ignite. It's kind of a little bit reckless, outside the box, and it's got electricity on it. Could burn you, it could freeze you out, but maybe it's exciting enough to take a chance. For the third house suggests love can appear because you're on a trip, because you're in a local shop, restaurant, bar, gas station, because you happen to be in a learning environment, and then across the crowded classroom, you meet your person, your Zoom class, your real class, some kind of digital class. You know, you might meet somebody because a local friend introduces you, right? And that's the local friends in your third house, and, you know, your childhood friends as well. And you might even meet somebody because you are just on a short trip. You know, you're taking a getaway, you know, weekend somewhere, and you're off and about. And lo and behold, along comes Mr. or Miss Divine Complement in, you know, a setting on a journey that you are making. So it's exciting if you're looking for love. If you're already in a relationship, then it could also be something going viral. If you do the online social media landscape and you're, you know, an influencer or a digital consumer or digital producer, then the third house tends to be media, you know, old school and also new school. And so this kind of Uranus usually goes hand in hand with things that can look like viral, but because he's retrograde, also connects you to your own past. It connects you to themes that you began to experience starting in July, when Uranus first entered here around July 7th, if I remember. And so it could be that you're going to have something that you put into the digital landscape on your website, on a platform a long time ago, sometime after July, and suddenly it gets like sleeper status and it takes off. But something could go very, very well and hit the public eye, hit the public marketplace with a kaboom. And that would be exciting for you as well. There is a kite here, of course. And so there's big transpersonal forces, and all said and done, to make it simple, an increase of your profitability from your career, more sense of being in alignment with a spiritual way of being in the world, and a connection to surprises connected to the third house. And now, one more thing about the third house before you go ahead and draw a card. Sometimes it's a sibling, and it's like sibling one younger than you. And so a sibling, or a sibling particularly one younger than you, may surprise you. There may be a surprise in their life. It may connect to their story, not just yours. And the surprise is coming through, and you're just witnessing or participating in your sibling's surprising life event. So let me know how that feels. It could even be a surprise about a sibling connected to romance, love, marriage, career profitability, etc. Long story short, one more mention for each sign is that you'll notice as Venus enters into Libra, she flows to Juno. Again, this really strengthens the idea of connection in relationship, particularly. And so again, if you're single, this could also be hinting that a new relationship wants to come into being. And if you're with somebody, it might be a separate story, like a book publishing deal, a book publishing contract, a book offer, a breakthrough in a legal court matter, and you're winning at the game of courts and legal matters and all that stuff. So here we have a card for you. Sorry about that. Don't even ask. And we're going to draw from the Time Traveler's Oracle. I need to move my keypad. I had it out for a bit, and the problem is my keypad is going to beat my touch it. And we're going to pull a card for you to see how are you going to deal with this kite. Now, we're not just talking, by the way, although this is very, very much a story, October 13th to the 15th, the kite, but we're also talking about the vibration of Venus traveling all the way till November 5th, October 13th to November 5th, through your 7th house, while she's in that relationship to Uranus. The surprise is still there. It's just not as acute as it was before. You have life force energy from the Time Traveler's deck, and that is the Maasai in Africa. Let's take a look at what the deck has to tell us about that story. No. Venus is the ruler for Aries of your second house, of what you put in your mouth and through your nostrils. So where we get life force energies, often because we're eating properly. All right, 23. So your message today for this whole transit, This is for the whole transit, October 13th to November 5th. Vibrant life force energy, healing, unifying rhythm, passion, little sizzling romance, anyone? All these qualities are waiting to expand even more in your life. The card is telling you that this is not the time to hold back, and it's not time to suppress what you're feeling or experiencing, because when you do this, I'll keep the card up for you, because when you do this, or you try to please everyone, your energy will wane and you are striving instead to meet the expectations of others, and yet you're forgetting your own needs. Yes, because what the heck? It shows a hand up. I don't want my hand up. I'm not putting my hand up. And soon, you doth beguile me. Venus in your 7th house right now can be like you want to please others, right? You want to be pleasing to others. You want people to like you. So forgetting your own needs, your energy field can become lackluster. Allow yourself free reign of your emotion. Be willing to be spontaneous and change course. And it's okay to change your mind. The vitality of the creator is waiting to flow through you. Stop waiting on the sidelines of life and don't hold back. Embrace every aspect of your life. Be who you are, Aries, without reserve, without reserve. Without reserve. If you have been ill, this card indicates healing energy is on its way. That's beautiful. And Venus does rule or own or possess or control your house of what you put in your mouth. So it can be a very nice indicator as well of dietary improvements to increase your vitality and your life force energy. Let's go ahead and check out the next sign. That's going to be you, Tauruses, ruled by Venus. And that's what you want. You want Venus in charge and helping you with stuff you really need. So Venus here is moving into the sign of Libra, her home territory, on October 13th. She'll be there to the November 5th. And look at this major hookup with Uranus. It's not just that Uranus is being activated. It's that he's in a new place in our sky that we haven't had a lot of experience with. He first slid in here in July. So with Venus, this is the first Venus in Libra. Uranus in Gemini story. And it's going to activate financial stuff for you. And it should be a positive financial surprise wants to emerge because it's connected to the house of earnings, resources, and possessions. At the same time, Venus is moving through the house of work and job. And so it could be a surprise job offer, job opportunity of some sort. And because it's also hooking up to the kite, right? There's this beautiful energy up here. It's going to give you power, authority, and wealth through career, work, and reputation. While at the same time, maybe some backroom deals and negotiations are working on your behalf to allow for this up level that shows up in your reality. Neptune here is also very spiritually inclined, and this is really positive for letting go of addictions, healing a chironic wound around addictive substances, having a Uranian breakthrough. So, and that also improves your health. So the energy as well could be an unexpected and exciting opportunity to sign a contract legally because of Juno that allows for you to come into possession of greater financial success. And it could also be the property sale or something like that, or letting go of a piece of land, selling a property if you're in that position. And that's just because the sun owns your 4th house and is co-present with Venus. So a property sale, also an unexpected and exciting property rental opportunity could come off of this as well. And it's exciting because maybe it's such a deal, it's so affordable, or you could rent your own property out and you get a lot of money for it. These are kinds of things that may occur. And I would say with Venus in the 6th house, it's also about enjoying the work you do. Sometimes we work and we have a job and we make money, but we're not having any fun. And Venus is going to say, let's have fun. Let's be social. Let's enjoy our work. Let's enjoy our career. Let's enjoy making money. And she starts to open those possibilities up for you. As I said, the 13th of October through to November 5th. But look for that early ingress, the 13th, 14th, 15th, for the surprise to show up and excite you. And let me know in the comments when it happens, what it might be. Let's draw a card from the Time Traveler's Oracle. So this is so exciting because of the kite, right? Because it's got such intense power to it. I am not putting my hand up. Lower my hand. Do you see that? I don't know if you can see that my hand is up, as if I'm in a webinar with myself. The Time Traveler's Oracle says breakthrough. Well, that makes so much sense because, of course, Uranus is the breakthrough. I should call this video breakthrough. Breakthrough. I'm going to write that down. break free, breakthrough, break free, breakthrough in love and money. Oh, for my video. God. Okay, my thumbnail guy. Breakthrough. Okay, let's read it. This is the moon landing, as it obviously looks like. So what's your breakthrough, Tauruses? Number 5. And it is. It's natural to be afraid, Taurus, when you are confronted with something new or challenging. However, do not let fear prevent you from overcoming barriers. I don't know. Maybe like that. Overcoming barriers. A breakthrough is at hand. Trust your instincts. Keep going. Don't stop or hold back. Just as it takes effort and fortitude to be the first to walk on the moon, for a chick to hatch out of its shell, or a seedling to push through hard-packed earth, it will take supreme effort in your own journey to reach the light. The energy of a breakthrough is not always easy, neat, or tidy, but it's okay if things are messy and chaotic for a while. Eventually, the situation will sort itself out and peace will reign. So again, there's a strong activation here of the house of what you might want to deal with in terms of addictions, because Uranus is in the house of what you put in your mouth and nose, and Neptune at the top of the kite is in the 12th house of self-undoing, which includes addictive substances. And so that's the kind of breakthrough as well that a lot of you Tauruses might look at. I don't care. Maybe you're addicted to gluten, maybe it's bread, too much pasta. Take your pick. All right. So let's keep going. Let's go on to the next sign. And the next sign is, of course, it is going to be Gemini. All right, Gemini, sun, moon, and rising. So Uranus is in your sign since July. This is the first time he's hooked up with Venus in the 5th house. This can definitely look like unexpected procreativity events, like surprising and unexpected fertility. You are pregnant, or one of your children is pregnant, for example. This could be something that you're becoming aware of early on in the narrative, like the 13th of October to about the 15th, 16th. And Venus is in Libra until November the 5th. She's co-present with the sun, which makes an interesting tale that might also bring your attention to unexpected developments connected to siblings and neighbors as well. And one thing I would say about this is, because she's hooking up to that kite with Neptune across the way, this could turn a friendship into a romance. And if you have something to do with, the idea that you've been looking for like a divine counterpart or something like that, the shock or surprise might be that somebody that you considered a friend becomes not a friend with benefits, but a true soul partner. And so it's a transmutation, perhaps with shock and awe, of friendship into something more or different. And also Venus here could start a new friendship out that becomes a romance. So you meet somebody new that starts off as a friend, but even more so, a friend may introduce you to somebody. Because Neptune in the house of friends and allies and benefactors, with the romantic Venus in the house of romantic and sexual love, suggests the opportunity may emerge to meet somebody. And maybe Pluto says foreign places, foreign shores, or foreigner, or somebody from a spiritual community setting. And maybe Uranus says surprise. And so 11th house surprises look like romance. If you're creative, artistic, or entrepreneurial, you may have a breakthrough event to international exposure or new levels of profitability from entrepreneurial business endeavors, opening up 13th, 14th, 15th, but all the way through to November the 5th. I really think that if you are in a relationship already, you're going to deepen the romantic and sexual energy and connection between you, which in the 7th house. But if you meet somebody new under this, then all of a sudden you might find a very simply a fast-moving relationship that goes into high gear really quickly. So that would mean something like meeting somebody and beginning a relationship after the 13th, 14th, 15th. There's something, like a date, you go on a date, but then by the time you get to November the 5th, even you're settled in, like you guys are already committing to each other as a couple, that this is a thing. So that could indicate like thunder, lightning. The way you hit me is the way you love me is frightening, but it's like a thunder, lightning type of energy in romance. In an existing long-term committed love, there maybe needs need to express yourself with freedom. So opening up into new forms of sexual polyamory, more independence, maybe a marriage sabbatical, those kinds of things can illuminate the sky for you as well. So let's take a look then, shall we, at your card and see what this exciting breaking free, breaking through Venus-Uranus story could portend for you, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I always tell you, Gemini Sun is your career and purpose, Moon, home and safety and nest and motions, and Gemini Rising, everything about your simulation avatar. The Cherokee talking stick, and it's the word truth. That doesn't surprise me because Pluto is in your house of truth and wisdom right now, your 9th house, truth, wisdom, knowledge, and dharma. Okay, so let's take a look at number 42. And Pluto's a part of the kite that's forming in our sky. So number 42, messages for Gemini. Are you ready? Sometimes the most difficult obstacle to living your truth, Gemini, talking stick, is knowing what your truth is. There's a place within you that always understands what is for you. And if you pull this card, it's time to speak starkly, to be starkly honest with yourself. Walk your talk, speak your truth. What is the truth about your life, your health, your career, your path in life? Okay. Uranus is in the house of natural talents and gifts as well. This is Dharma, following a true alignment, true north. Your compass as well could be opening up for you mid-October to early November. So it talks about being honest with others, striding deeply into authenticity, as if you're holding a talking stick and speaking to the creator. And the card can indicate examining truth about your relationships. It could be that someone is being less than honest. And if someone depletes your energy, it's time to release that person from your life. Let go of situations that diminish you. Even if you are afraid of being judged or rejected, it's far better to live an honest, genuine life than to try to please others to the detriment of your truth. Your energy will soar as a result. Yes, do not please people at the detriment of your truth. And our next sign up on our storyline is, how are you Cancers dealing with this guy that comes up for us on October the 13th? And energetically speaking, you're probably not going to mind this very much, but it is pretty significant because where Venus enters into is called your 4th house, but it happens to be one of the major stakes of the chart, the kentrons that turns the wheel of your destiny. And in that regard, it's in a very critically important place that Venus enters. And this is your home, your property, your real estate, pleasures, and what you do and to enjoy yourself in the home. Maybe a female coming to visit your home October 13th, 14th, 15th with a surprise because of the 12th house. Now, that can be a female from a foreign land or foreign shores coming to visit you. That could be an unexpected travel opportunity from your home, from where you live, to go off to a distant place, that kind of vibe. But there's a kite involved, and Venus is trying to pick it up and is tipping. It's like tip into your 10th house of career, where with Neptune pulling back the fog in retrogradation, you're more clear than ever of what you want and don't want, and what's true and what's real and what's right for you, and your purpose and career matters, or your reputation matters. And Venus from the 4th house is piloting the story. We've got some big stories going on with Pluto in that kite, maybe some major changes to how you handle your taxes, your unearned income, money shared with spouse, money from inheritances. All that kind of funds are being investigated. There's a huge amount of energy around potential financial breakthrough here, but financial breakthrough can also connect to property, home, land, and real estate, as well as rental agreements for property, home, land, and real estate. Maybe you're going to rent out a room in your house. Maybe you're going to find a place to rent, and there's a big excitement there. And I say that because contractual Juno is in the house of rental agreements. So there's something going on where some property, land, home, real estate, rental agreement stories are underway. And you don't have to sell a property here. You could also just be renting one out or renting one for yourself. The surprise, the excitement, the breakthrough is also deep spiritual energy. Both Pluto in the 8th and Uranus in the 12th open up kind of spiritual enlightenment energy, awakening, opening up to something new. So consider that you might have a spiritual enlivenment off of this, especially if you want to liberate yourself from egoic identity constructions and constructions of who you think you are connected to past lives, as well as your ancestral and family stories. It's kind of like you could bust away from all of that and reach a Neptunian height of unity consciousness, spiritual awakening, some of those exciting stories. Why is the hand up again? Let's stop the share and see what we get. Lower my hand. I'm not putting that hand up. That hand is going up by itself. So let me complain to an empathetic Cancer. I spent 2 hours with Zoom today on customer support with 3 different tickets because this is my MacBook Pro with a better camera. If I use my old MacBook Air, everything is fine. This is somehow my MacBook Pro is not syncing nicely with Zoom. And it's the M chip for those of you who know that kind of stuff. And honestly, my major last problem I can't solve is I cannot annotate anything anymore. The annotation features disappeared. And yes, I have followed all of the instructions on how to fix it. And I need to annotate for the classes I teach. Okay, so the card we have for you from the Time Traveler's Oracle, customer service is exhausting, whether I'm receiving or giving. Love, number 25. Venus is the goddess of love. And it says the Taj Mahal in India. One delineation I forgot to say, if you are single and looking for love, then you may find love close to home, like when you take out your garbage, like really close to home, or in your hometown or in your homeland. And love can also surprise you, connected to people from far off shores visiting close to where you live, or for some of you, connected to your work, because Juno is in the house of the work. So love can emerge through work as well in surprising, exciting, and exhilarating Uranian ways. The card we have for you is love, and we're going to read love, number 25. The Taj Mahal. Abounding love is emerging in your life, and you are the beloved. You are deeply and profoundly loved and lovable. You deserve pleasure and comfort, and your capacity for these things is expanding. Love is right around the corner, and there is nothing you need to do to deserve it. Love is pouring to you and from you. You are a sacred vessel for it to flow through, and in matters of romance, all is healing, renewing, or being healed on the inner planes. In matters of self-love and cherishing, all that is within and around you is also expanding. Trust the messages from your heart, even if they are at odds with the messages from your mind. Let your heart lead you forward. Surround yourself with beauty and pleasure, and your life experiences are part of an evolution toward the realization that you are indeed love. The Creator is love, and in your essence, so are you. You are love. Venus is in the 4th house. If your childhood gave you messages that you're not loved, you're not lovable, but love is somehow invisible to you, you're going to heal some of that childhood stuff. Thank you, Venus and the Kite. So Leo, Venus moving October 13th to November 5th through Libra for the first in a lifetime hook up to Uranus in Gemini is going to bring love, breakthroughs, and break frees and surprises in money. Technically, if you're single and looking for love, then look no closer or further than your supermarket, your gas station, and your local environment, all the places you would go to on the local. That includes restaurants. Or you might get into an online dating app because our local neighborhood has become our digital neighborhood. So you might also divide your life into those 2 categories like most people do. So a digital neighborhood, get online and do a dating app is a way to find new love for you in break free, breakthrough, surprising ways. As well, Uranus could have an unexpected surprise in which a friendship turns into a love story. Or you're traveling with a friend and you meet somebody, or a friend opens up an opportunity for you to meet your beloved. And if you do meet somebody under this with Juno in the 5th house, romantic and sexual love will really rapidly move in towards some significant levels of commitment. If you are an artist, a creative, a digital media provider, you might get a really luscious contract that surprises you, that increases your profitability and your career gains as well. Now, this kite that Venus is holding from the 3rd house is opening up something to do with your 9th house, and that's both 3rd and 9 are travel. So expecting love to emerge through travel opportunities that surprise you from unexpected learning environments, and a surprise story to do with breakthroughs in love. If it's not about love, you're looking at more profitability and financial gain through your learning, teaching, traveling, marketing, and selling life that increases surprising and even shocking profits from those endeavors. This is not too bad if you're artistic and creative as well, to increase the profitability of that kind of work in your life in unexpected, surprising ways. It is a sky that could also lead to some positive and surprising situations emerging in an existing love relationship, to transform that existing marriage or love relationship, for example, into something new. With Venus sitting in your third house, co-present with the sun, your ruler, this is a very powerful energy that can really transform who you are in this divine matrix, the way you perceive your leonine character. And sometimes we change because of things that happen or people we encounter. And I think that sometimes this can look like in this chart, a sibling, one older than you and or one younger than you, bringing in some positive and exciting developments, maybe in their life that impact you in a very positive way as well. And we'll see evidence for that most clearly October 13th to about the 16th, but it's unfolding through to November the 5th. Now, from the Time Traveler's Oracle, what do we have for you? Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe. You know the drill, guys. And it's kind of been a day. I feel like I want to go back to bed. Had a guy fixing my carburetor today, and then he had to come back with another piece on Thursday. I couldn't record any videos. Well, he was here for an hour. And then I had the tech issues with my Zoom. And that was 2 hours of customer service. And it's just been, and the guy hammering over my head. Miracles. I just want to go to bed. This is for you. Miracles. And that happens to be a picture of the Northern Lights in Iceland. Okay, why would you get miracles? I bet you're saying, well, what does miracles have to do with Venus traveling through my third house, Neptune in my ninth? Well, God belongs to the ninth house. Neptune is enlightenment-y and an oceanic consciousness and spiritual mystical states. And if you're going to get a miracle, you're going to get it through the house of God. So let's just open that up. And you do have Jupiter in the Moksha enlightenment house, and you've got Saturn in another enlightenment house, all said and done. If anyone's going to get a miracle in their life, it's going to be you guys. So don't short shrift the universe if the universe is going to provide a miracle. And the number of your card is 27. It could be a financial miracle, but more likely it's a love miracle or friendship miracle. But if it's money miracles, it's coming through career profitability or windfalls, pennies from heaven. I forgot that. Uranus is in the windfalls and pennies from heaven, windfalls. So money miracles for sure. Sorry, 27 is coming up in my deck here. Your message is this from the Time Traveler's deck. Be open to the miracles awaiting for you, that are awaiting for you, that are awaiting for you. Be open to the miracles that are waiting for you. Release your doubt and watch for. We should doubt and watch for them. Know that if you don't have to do it, you don't have to do it all by yourself. It's important that you do not limit the way miracles appear in your life by trying to control the flow or having expectations. Be open to allowing your creator to resolve challenges for you in mysterious and amazing ways. And when they arrive, allow immense gratitude to fill your heart, even if they don't come in the form you expected. Be open to celebrating each one, no matter how small. Success begets success. Not noticing the small wonders in your life will allow great gifts from spirit to expand your life. Hold the thought in your heart that your life is a miracle. And indeed it is, and it will be. Okay. I mean, guys, lucky you. Windfalls and pennies from heaven on any financial calamity. Do a little prayer, say a little prayer, ask for a miracle. Don't doubt, see what happens. And don't try to manipulate the divine into providing the miracle in a way that you think is the right way. Don't micromanage God. Don't micromanage God. All right. So Virgo, sun, moon, and rising sign. In this heavens, you have a story. The story is Venus moving her ass into your second house of money, but for the first time in your life, hooking up to Uranus in your 10th house. Holy man. Unexpected, shocking, positive surprises connected to career and finances. You could have a breakthrough in your career, in your money from your career, with Jupiter in your 11th house of profitability from your career. That doesn't surprise me. And it may be a one-off, or it may be a new job. I mean, Pluto's in the house of employment, and Neptune is in the house of benefits, like sign-on bonuses, severance packages, health packages, tax rebates or something like that. There's something really powerful trying to really level you up on the work, money, and earnings front as this kite is activating all of that. Now, Neptune is also helping you deal with any kind of issues you've had in the past to do with being esteemed by other people in which you feel like others don't recognize you, respect you, esteem you. It's a very healing energy around self-worth in many ways as well, as you're coming into new levels of authentic power in your earnings, possessions, and values. And with the sun sitting here in the second house, that's another story as well. The sun is ruling your 12th house of addictions, self-undoing, habits and patterns that are self-sabotaging. And in that regard, there is also the potential for a very clean breakthrough around patterns and habits that inhibit your fulfillment of your power, your success, your abundance in this lifetime. So those are all true. And those are all positive. Venus is flowing to the contractual goddess in the 4th house, and you got Pluto in the 6th. The able to possess a new property to live in is a possibility, or to rent a new property and finding your dream rental, the ideal property for you to move into as a rental tenant, or vice versa, to lease a property, your dream tenant. These are vibes also, and it all has a bit of excitement and suddenness and exhilaration happening. Looking forward to October 13th to the 16th to really show you that truth, but also know that this is all unfolding through to November 5th. And it's kind of exciting because, hey, this is your first taste of Uranus in your 10th house, loving Venus in your earnings house. It's going to give you like 7 more years of a kind of vibe where you could really take off in your career, in your finances, and your earnings, and your recognition in your career. I'm drawing a card for you from the Time Traveler's Oracle as an addendum meaning. The keyword is trust. Polynesian voyagers on the Pacific Ocean. Trust. Trust, trust, trust. Okay. You've been coming through a hard time. Venus is in your sign for 3 weeks before this time, October 13th. I know a lot of you didn't feel so good about that transit with the South Node and the eclipses having you to really go deep into a letting go, right? A real deep, like plunge it down the toilet energy, a person, a place, a relationship, a habit. It's been not an easy path for Virgo rising, especially in the last 3 weeks before October 13th. So 41, you're near the end of the deck. Truth. Trust. This is not time to stay in the safe harbor in your life. So trust something new. Trust you're being guided. Unfurl your sails. Go forward. You are protected as you ride the current of your soul. Trust is this perfect time to plan a journey, a vacation, a move. Yes, because you look like you could buy, rent, or sell a new property under this kite, either in your location or in your job. Move your location. And if you've been thinking of a trip or a move, this card is saying the time is now. You want to say, heck yes, that's in the astrology exactly. A voyage of epic nature is ahead. It could be a spiritual, emotional journey. However, the card is saying there is no wrong turn as you move forward. Your soul will thank you. If you are afraid or uncertain, some of us are occasionally feeling afraid or uncertain, know that right now you are surrounded by spiritual guides and angels. You are safe, even if your travels go in a different direction than you expected. Have faith that you will go exactly where you need to go, and trust the journey ahead is indeed guided. Let me know how that works out, Virgo. Okay, we're doing Libra, and then I'm going to get not a chocolate break, some other kind of break. And let's see what we get for you guys. So Libra, Sun and Moon, and Rising. First off, you're like Taurus, you're ruled by Venus. Pay attention to what she does. First in a lifetime, October 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, coming into that vibe. She's hooking up with Uranus. Uranus is in a part of your sky to bring surprises and shocks that has to do with international travel, foreign lands, foreign people, foreign anything. Legal and court matters, publishing and book publishing, pilgrimages, temples of God, religion, and spiritual paths of devotion and practice. So something surprising is happening up here, and it's flowing to Venus, which is good in your sign. So she's blessing you. It could be international opportunities, foreign opportunities, single Libras, love in a foreign land, love with a foreigner, love because you're traveling, journeying abroad, love because you're in a higher educational academic setting and you meet your soulmate in the classroom. I don't care if it's digital classroom or a real classroom. And so for single Libras looking for love, it's very exciting. For Libras who are not looking for love, they already have a relationship. Neptune in the 7th house is clearing the fog of the rose-colored glasses you and a romantic partner may have been wearing together, and also could signify a breakthrough in the relationship that you're already in. And it may even lead to wedding plans, what do you call it? Proposals, setting the wedding day, committing to the relationship at a new depth of a commitment. And that's because Venus is also sextiling the goddess of committed love in your 3rd house. Now, the sun is being activated in the chart. And that means that because the sun is with Venus, the sun is the ruler of your house of profitability from your career. And Jupiter's in the career house. So there may be unexpected increases of financial gain through publishing, book publishing, and profitability through foreign people and foreign lands. New opportunities emerging. You might want to partner with somebody. You might get a partnership opportunity for work or business. That's a collaboration of some sort that could lift you up to new levels of professional success and even profitability from your career. Coming off of this ingress on October 13th, this theme continues to play out till November the 5th. Venus rules fertility. She's trining Pluto in the house of conception, and there's surprises in the house of grandchildren. Unexpectedly discovering that you're going to be a grandparent, or unexpectedly discovering you or your partner is pregnant, are kind of offshoots of the sky as well. Let's take a look at the Oracle deck, the Time Traveler's Oracle, to see what kind of guidance the sky can be complemented with from this profound oracle by Denise Linn. By far my favorite book, Oracle card deck. The Baobab tribe of Africa, and it's a tree. The Baobab tree, and it's in Africa. 36. It's called stability. Stability. Now, it's hard to say stability when you have Uranus in the mix. All right. Anytime you see Uranus, there's something unexpected, illuminating, surprising, exciting, shocking. I don't know, take your pick, right? So I won't harp on stability here, but it is possible, right? It is possible that you're going to find that stabilizes something like a relationship or a job. So let's take a look at how it's written up. Stability, number 36. All right. To gain stability in your life, take measure of your relationships, finances, possessions, and health. Heal old wounds and strengthen relationships with your loved ones. Make careful plans for the future. And sometimes it's valuable to imagine a worst case scenario and then figure out a strategy to survive and thrive. This can actually prevent the situation from occurring. However, do not act on these plans until you feel secure about going forward. Sometimes the unexpected can stabilize a situation. If you're not feeling grounded in life, it's important to put everything aside until you do. Think things through before you take action. Don't rush into anything. If you're going to make financial investments, make ones that are safe and secure. This is an excellent time to go into partnership with others. That's the Juno sextile Venus. It is a time for business partnerships, but also committing to love at a deeper level, whether it's marriage, business, or a creative project. Yeah, it's right. Heck yeah, it's right there in the astrology. If you move slowly, go deep, and look for constancy in life, lasting success will follow. Okay, Libra, I hope that's useful. And I am going to stop the share, grab a little bit of a tea or something. I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. Let's get back to work. No, we're not recording my own screen. And there's someone hammering above my head today. It's one of those days. I know I'm complaining. I apologize. It's just not showing me my proper thing I want to share with you. And yes, this is my new dilemma. So I finally heard back from the Zoom people. I took my tea break, and they say, you're right. Your Zoom annotation is gone. You followed all of our instructions and we can't find it either. Now I have this whole report I have to get Zoom annotation back. All right, here we go. Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising sign. Skies open up. First in a lifetime, Venus trines Uranus. Can't complain from Uranus being in Gemini. And that's exciting because this is going to be a new story over the next 7 years. But this is a kite, which is even more hallelujah. You're going to notice that Uranus is traveling through your 8th house, just testing the waters. He's going to be leaving here in November. But as he's retrograde here, he's flowing to Lord Venus in your 12th. Venus in the 12th, she spends 3 weeks a year here, is very subtle. It's in the house of your unconscious. It's in the house of your meditations, and it's your deepest superconscious self, should you know how to access that through trance states, meditations, visualizations, hypnosis, dreams. And this part of your life, Venus is traveling back here, is very solitudinous. And so it could often open up a time where you're creative alone, like October 13th or so to November 5th, a lot of alone time, creative time, bed pleasure time, home alone time, whatever. And no, I don't have my hand up. No, I don't, but I'll just leave my hand up. And I could say that you could find yourself in this situation really finding an unexpected spiritual awakening, energetic. If you're seeking spiritual truth or awakening, Uranus is in the house of that disidentification from your egoic structures. This is the full Buddhahood. These guys are flowing. There's Pluto for death, birth, and transformation. And all these houses, 12, 4, and 8, wake up the moksha and the spiritual liberation aspect. So there's a big shift of consciousness that's available if you want that. Otherwise, it could be very mundane things like a shocking, surprising change of tax status, an ability to procure greater wealth from distant shores and foreign land, employers, barter trade, things to do with perhaps even being able to make money because you have digital income and borderless revenue, all that kind of stuff. And I'm just going to tell somebody not to come into my chat, which is strange. And energetically speaking, you are also with this story perhaps going to find that because of Pluto in the 4th house, there is some legacy wealth coming from somebody in a hospital setting, perhaps a female, meaning that it doesn't have to be a female, but just somebody with a sun co-present. It could be a male, a possibility of some family of origin, father figure, even legacy wealth, money coming your way out of the blue. Like, oh my God, there's money coming to me, even if it was from the past, like great aunt Susie died or great uncle Joe or 2 years ago, but there was a clause in the will and suddenly I've got some money. That's the story. Other expectations, unexpected opportunities to rent a property or lease your own property out. That's Neptune in the 6th, connected to Pluto in the 4th, Uranus in the 8th. All said and done, it's best used, I think, for spiritual attainment, but also any problems with your health that have been beleaguering you and troubling you. You may have unexpected, surprising breakthroughs to eliminate that, especially if any health challenges have come through self-undoing addictions and bad habits and patterns and anything that you've been doing along those lines. You have a new level of commitment, Venus sextiles Juno, to stop doing it. Stop smoking the weed or the vape or whatever things you do that aren't good for you. It's a big shift of consciousness and a change in your story. I really do like the idea that you have a possibility of opening up as well into a new business partnership from someone from a distant foreign land that can bring some exciting new developments into your life, or even getting hired by a company that's connected to far off foreign shores and distant lands, that kind of thing. So this is an energetic 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th wake-up call. It unfolds until November the 5th. Let's go ahead and draw a card for you and see what we get. And I'm just going to say that whoever's banging over my head for 2 days in a row could find a reason not to. Vast vistas, nomads, steppes of Mongolia. Okay, the far off foreign shores and distant lands is activated. Okay, it's the 12th house. And I think that the 12th house is always open to not just spiritual vistas, but literally off to the ashram, off to the foreign place, off to a different culture or land, quite often perceived as that as well, or experiences that. And that's where Venus is. So let's go to 43. Are you traveling abroad or to, it doesn't have to be a distant shore in foreign terms. Sometimes it's distant lands, the other side of your country, the opposite side of your state, October the 13th through to November 5th. My son's going off to Montreal with his partner for a kind of a delayed honeymoon, for example, during that time. Yet it's going to bring all this kind of cool breakthrough energy. And goodness gracious, how exciting is that? With the North Node and Jupiter involved in fertility rights as well in your chart. So some travel opportunities for Scorpios could be highly fertile, if you know what I mean. 43. Give me a minute. All right. Widen your horizons to see the bigger picture. And it's not the time, Scorpio. Think small. Think outside the box. Just Uranus. There is a potential of big changes ahead. Be willing to be unconventional in your projects, relationships, and ideas. And know that once you choose any direction you desire, know that you can choose any direction you desire. But before you go forward, look in all directions to see potential outcomes. Vast vistas are ahead for you. It's easy to get caught up in the small details of life and forget the big view. Something unexpected may be sneaking up behind you, but if you are ready for it, it won't wobble your life. And that's the Uranus surprise. This is a time of expansion, of travel, of new adventures. And if you receive an opportunity to travel, you must go for it. October 13th to November 5th. If you can step into a different direction in life, don't hesitate, and you should take it. Okay, I love that. It does reflect the astrology beautifully. Okay, Sagittarius, first in a lifetime, right? Uranus in Gemini, retrograding, trining Venus in Libra. Venus in Libra is up in the part of the heavens that represent windfalls and pennies from heaven, and she is a money goddess. And I'm not going to say this couldn't happen. It's quite possible you will receive some unexpected financial gain from the sky, October 13th to November 5th. The breakthrough coming through the house of legal contracts and settlements, also the house of marriage or significant business partnerships, and a financial breakthrough, a legal breakthrough maybe regarding also matters to do with a sibling, one older than you, also matters connected to spouse or significant other. The energy here can also be literally about increase of career profitability, that you're going to have more fame, more success, more recognition, more rewards, or more profits from your career in unexpected, surprising, and exciting ways as you expand into some kind of blowout success with your audience, marketplace, fans, and clients. I think that the kite itself points to Neptune. Are you a filmmaker, artist, creative, storyteller, a photographer, or are you inclined to use digital platforms that use video? Then there's a breakthrough in your creative arts and your energies here, and it could also increase your financial success. With Pluto in the third house and part of the kite, right? You kind of energize up the possibility of social media and media itself being very lucrative and profitable quickly, suddenly, and surprisingly for you. If you're single and you're looking for love, then look no further than friendship circles, where a friend can introduce you to a love of a lifetime, and or maybe your own social networks in your social community, digital income, digital revenue, social media landscape. You could meet somebody just because you're there, you're in a Zoom room or something. And that's going to mean that because you've got Juno in your sign, you're really looking at life through commitment. Will I stay? Will I go? Do I want to commit? And if you're in a relationship right now, because Uranus and Juno are opposing each other in the sky, October 13th, 14th, if it leads to a fracture and an end in a relationship, for some of you, it might. Do not worry about that, because the beauty here to me is that what Venus is doing is opening up new types of relationships, interdependent, more free relationships for you. Come on, Venus is trining Uranus and saying something like, let's try friends with benefits. Let's try being friends who are lovers, who are just committed to being friends who are lovers. Let's do some polyamory. Let's take a marriage sabbatical. These are weird things, but Venus in the 11th to the 7th can be reorienting your approach to relationship. But if you're single, this could bring you a new person. And one way you can meet that kind of person is through travel, is through teaching and learning settings. or through community that is involved in artistic matters. These are places and ways this could happen, or just through your friends, hanging out with your friends, social settings. Your friends want to introduce you to someone. Venus up there can be the friend putting you in touch with a friend who then turns out to be your person. Now, Venus is with the sun, and the sun is a ruler of your ninth house. So possibly also foreign land travel and distant shore people and places lead to unexpected and exciting breakthroughs in long-term and committed and short and brand new love. So love coming through the distant lands, the foreign people, and the travels to those places. Okay. Oops. Now we're going to draw a card from the Time Traveler's Oracle and see what we get for you, and take a look at that. And you guys are going to get adventure. Well, we did talk about the foreign land because of this guy. The sun with Venus, sun rules your house of foreign lands and shores. There's a camel, the Silk Road, the Inner Mongolia. Okay, let's take a look at your answer. Card number 3. Adventure. All right, Sag, you need an adventure. A friend of mine who's a fiction writer says only 2 things move a story forward: conflict and adventure. And I added mystery. I said, no, and mystery. We're always propelled by not knowing and wanting to know. Mystery, adventure, and conflict. Here we go. And the stories of our lives, right? We got to move our story forward. We're stagnate all day on the sofa. Adventure entails risk, but it is the juice of life. Without it, your life can feel lackluster and even stagnant. If you hear that knocking, my mic's on the most reduction I can do. Sorry, guys. If it's not sirens, it's someone hammering above my head. Without it, your life can feel lackluster and even stagnant. You don't need to know how everything turns out. This is the time to take risks in your life. Something exciting is right around the corner. Have faith that there is a higher plan, even if you don't know what it is. Wonderful new experiences wait to fill your life. New frontiers appear as you enter a period of expansion, and old limitations start dropping away. Get ready. Yes, the opportunity is knocking on my roof. Instead of waiting for a new quest to unfold, you can create your own adventures. Try doing your usual task in a different way. Do something out of the ordinary. Talk to a stranger. Take a road trip without a plan, and see where you end up. You may also receive this card if you are considering becoming a writer or poet. That could work in your publishing and writing, work in the sky for you. This card is an excellent sign to move forward with your plan. Okay. We're moving into the next sign. Let me pause the recording. All right, let's go on to the next sign. And I was actually checking my app for people who live in my building. Apparently, there's a new owner in unit 102. It's above me and to the right. And basically, there's renovations going on, and I don't know how long. No one knows. I'm going to go ask a contractor. But this is going to be interesting to try to record my All Signs 2026 long 2.5-hour videos for you guys when there's someone hammering over my head. You've got to be kidding me. I'm ready to move to another country. All right. Capricorn, sun, moon, and rising sign. Here we go. Uranus and Venus are together in the sky in a first in a lifetime way. They're shockingly, happy in an air trine up here. And that's because, Uranus is here since July 6th, 5th or 6th in your 6th house of work, health, karmic relationships, debts, things to do with job, things to do with your daily routines connected to your work. Anyway, so, and then now he's in shocking awe, trine of happy surprises with the goddess of love and money and good things. And it looks to me like there's a breakthrough energy happening here. Something wants to happen to break through or break free, or, some opening wants to happen up here in your work, in your career, or in your reputation as it pertains to love. And so a lot of things I could say about this, like if you were a single Cap looking for a relationship, you could get one out of the blue coming through the work, the career, the office energetics, and, falling in love with your boss, an office mate, a colleague, surprise, shock, eyes meet across a crowded cubicle or something like that. And totally exciting, totally amazing for you. And I'm just going to stop the share. I'm going to go upstairs and knock on the door. Okay, I went up there to stop the sound, but then I got up there and I could hear a chainsaw or something, and I couldn't get them to answer the door from the banging over my head. Okay. Oh my God. There we go. Oh. What was I saying? Yeah, love in the office. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I'm stressing out about life these days. There's just too much going on in my world that I have no control over. And even Zoom can't figure out why my Zoom isn't working. And these are the experts. So I'm probably under psychic attack by people who don't like my politics. Let's get back to Capricorn. Sorry, guys. It's like, yeah, a pet. Unexpectedly in your life, here comes your dream pet. Unexpectedly in your life, you're going to be able to see a change of home that you've been looking for a while, but it's connected to professional opportunity. Unexpectedly in your life, you're going to be able to make a commitment to romantic love from someone who lives in a distant shore or far off place. Unexpectedly, you could also find yourself coming into a greater level of financial prosperity and wealth, but it does connect to the work and career matters in your story. And the Kite tells us that to be true. And if you're going to make a shift in home, it's likely connected to professional endeavors. Again, there's a surprise element, the surprise career, the surprise love in the career, the surprise opportunity for a new home, the surprise financial glow up with this gorgeous water trine. And so this is opening up October 13th through to the November 5th. You'll see some more evidence for that, of course. Like you don't have to wait till November. It's pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting all at once. And like October 13th to the 16th, where you see the surprising part of the story unfold for you. And let's take you into the energy of, and potentially a career opportunity that allows for you to be employed by something to do with the word international. Like you might find a job connected to a company or a foreign person or a foreign situation. So from the place in which you were born, perhaps, or where you currently live. You got happiness, Himalayas. And number 19, happiness. Well, who doesn't want happiness? Venus will try to bring it to life's pleasures, for one thing. 19. And this is the time to do what gives you joy. Be still, be open, be happy. The sweet nectar of life is awaiting you. If you don't need to suffer to grow, you do not. You do not need to suffer to grow. You do not need to suffer to grow. It's not more notable to put it's not more noble to put happiness. It is not more noble to put the happiness of others first. True joy comes from listening to the whispers of your soul and taking action. Today, take steps to expand your horizons. Maybe you can't get it all done today. Well, I say October 13th to November 5th, but you need to start somewhere. If you wait for circumstances to be different, you may never begin. Do not put off happiness. Support it all around you. If you just open your heart to receive it. If you've been waiting for your happy ending, know that it's time to stop being a seeker and become a finder. Of what? Of your perfect job, your perfect home, your perfect relationship. Those are major themes that this sky opens up for you on October 13th to November the 5th. All right. And we're moving into the next sign. I hope I am recording. This video is recording. And we're moving into Aquarius, sun, moon, and rising. So Aquarius, this is me. This is you. I'm a rising, sun, and moon. You can listen as well. First things first. You've got this story going on, first in a lifetime. Uranus is moving through Gemini, and he's activating from your 5th house of true love and romance and romantic relationship and fun and joy and play and pleasure, the shock and awe surprise of Venus in the 9th house. Single Aquariuses can fall into a relationship unexpectedly October 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, kind of unfolding till November 5th, unexpectedly falling into a relationship because you are traveling to foreign countries, because you're enrolled in an academic setting, because you're because you're busy publishing stuff and the publications matter. Or this is a very interesting fertility time for unexpected developments of children or grandchildren in your life. And in this case, most likely grandchildren. Suddenly you're going to be a grandparent. The energy also excites me if you are looking for love and you're looking for a love that is a spiritual connection. Venus up here will bring you somebody that's involved in something that's in alignment with your purpose, alignment with your spiritual beliefs or your religious or spiritual philosophy. And hang on. Uranus also can bring you windfalls down here from the house of good fortune. So you may have an unexpected financial gain because you won something, like you played a lottery ticket or a casino or a horse race bet. Don't listen to me. Please don't overdo it. But October 5th through to October 13th to November 5th can be a financial win. Venus is in a lucky Lakshmi house. It also allows for wealth, prosperity, and good things like that to happen. So it does wealth you up for lucky and unexpected kinds of financial successes. And she's all holding that kite and she's talking to Neptune. And Neptune's like, okay, what is your like clear-eyed dream around the right neighborhood, the right neighbors, the right writing project, the right social media landscape, the right communications environment for you? This is where Neptune's traveling and he is involved with that Chironic kite, that Venus held kite. You can meet somebody unexpectedly in your life who may be connected to a spiritual community, foreign lands and foreign places, but also connected to your local environment. That divine complement might come through a trip or a travel locally or internationally, or a international traveler in your local environment. So something to do with, people around you, restaurants, grocery stores, local community, unexpected love, surprise right here. Any love story that emerges here for a single Aquarius transforms the heck out of your life with Pluto here, and you are changing everything about you because this relationship is changing everything about you. Now, that's good for you singletons. If you're already in a relationship, you may become massively excited and enthusiastically inspired by an artistic, creative, or entrepreneurial project that's going to really light you up. It could involve social media, the online media sphere, especially videography platforms, and something could go kind of super successful, a bit viral for you, could really elevate you to some more international exposure and stature, for example. And if you're already in a relationship, it could sort of put a new spin on the love that you already have, allow for more fun, joy, play, pleasure in eccentric, unusual ways as you and your partner also travel abroad or explore new forms of spiritual community or new forms of spiritual belief together. So it could open up new vistas in an existing relationship. The sun is the ruler of your marriage house with Venus. Could imply that any new romances you get into could quickly look like it should be a significant relationship, one that is likely to want to connect for monogamy, commitment, and lasting connection. So if you start a new relationship anytime, truly anytime, between October 13th and 22nd in particular, it's very sticky for lasting qualities, although it also will be exhilarating and unexpected and take a course that you don't anticipate. It will come from a direction that you're not anticipating, kind of a left fielder for some of you singletons. Your children have unexpected, surprising, positive luck, including getting pregnant, including getting positive life direction changes that they're wanting and they're receiving, and you're there watching them be super successful. And a sibling, one younger and two younger than you, can also be involved in some of the excitement, in some surprises in their life that generate some excitement in your life as well. So let's go ahead and draw a card for you. And I can't wait to tell you what that is. I'm not looking for a relationship, right? I'm like, I don't need a relationship right now. I can barely keep my head above water because I'm so darn freaking busy with everything else. Hang on. I just dropped all the cards on the floor and I don't want to do that because then I might be missing a card for you guys. So let's do it again. Honestly, can't have a missing card, right? And then try to give this to you. Purification. All right. I think of the 9th house, 12th house, sometimes purification. House of God, the house of renunciation. 34. Purification is the Ganges River in India. 34. Purify. 34. 34, 34. All right, here we go. Aquarius. Am I recording? I am. This is a sign that it's the time to purify your life. And if things get too cluttered, Aquarius, it's almost impossible to see clearly into your future. I feel my life is cluttered by tech issues. This can make it difficult to receive messages from your soul. So go and clear the clutter out of your home. Consider a detox diet. I'm on it. Release whatever doesn't serve or support you. Let go of the old, unneeded, and unused. If there's a situation or person in your life that seems to be clogging your energy field, take steps to lift out of the vibration. When you take the time to purify yourself and when your environment, not only will you, Aquarius, feel lighter, and brighter, but also you become a clear channel for the light. The card also indicates that it's time to eat lightly, drink fresh water, and consume food with strong life force energy, such as fresh fruits, vegetables. Purify yourself of all life of all you do not need. I've been eating like that. I just had dates and, I've been eating pretty light. Purify your life, because I'm an Aquarius, so I'm just relating, right? Purify your life of all that you do not need. The clearer you become, the more you can be a benefit to others. Some of you know that I moved to my place here. I like my place, but great ocean views, beautiful light, a great southwest exposure on my balcony. But I have sirens from the hospital and the fire truck. Now I've got some guy doing construction on the unit above me. No notification about that was given to the other people in the building, which they're supposed to do. And I don't know, say it goes on for 2 weeks. Well, that 2 to 3 weeks from now, I'm recording 2.5-hour videos for my All Signs, fundraiser I do every year. And I can't imagine doing that with a hammer in my head. So pray for me. How's it going, fellow Aquarians? Let me know in the comments. What's happening for you guys lately? Especially what are you anticipating with this transit coming up October the 13th? Finally, last but not least, best and always best, Pisces, sun, moon, and rising. So guys, you guys are having a really interesting time. Venus, your exaltation lord, heads into her home kingdom of your chunky money, 8th house, money from a spouse, spousal support, inheritance, tax rebate, investments, passive income, royalty income, revenues like that, dividend checks. There's Venus in your 8th. You share that money with companies, with investors, with your spouse, with inheritances from someone who passes. Venus is here. She's going to be here, but no big deal. She's here for 3 weeks every year. Big deal. Uranus is not connected to her normally. So October 13th and November 5th, you've got this energy of shock, surprise, home, property, land, real estate, positive. It could be a sudden opportunity to sell your house, a sudden profit from your house, a sudden viral hit from your house, it's something you're doing in your house, giving you some unexpected collateral benefits financially. There is energy here of a kite. Venus wants to hold it up into the sky and give you Neptune's second house money or earnings or possessions. Technically, you could come into a exciting opportunity to possess your dream home, to unexpectedly get some revenue that you didn't expect from storytelling, photography, videography, social media platforms that have video features to it, which is almost all of them today, and some pop in your finances, especially if you're operating a business of digital income revenues or stuff from your home base. I like this a lot as well. If any of you are thinking of potentially selling a property, it would be like selling a property and getting some kind of unexpected financial gain. Maybe your house is worth more than you thought, or someone doubles the offer or something like that. Or you get a competition for people wanting to buy it unexpectedly, by the way, because the market's not very solid in US or Canada really at this time for selling. And some of you may unexpectedly receive an opportunity for a vehicle, to sell a vehicle, buy a vehicle, get some money off of a property sale, a vehicle sale. That could happen too. Now, for love stories, a Venus in the 8th house is hidden, and that could be a hidden love. Like you're engaging in a secret love or a hidden love that isn't being shared with the world. It's offside. It's, down low, quiet for some reason. With the sun ruling your 6th house, it could be a very karmic relationship. It also could be an office romance. So office romances on the down low is exciting, but Unconventional for you, not your typical fare. The Kite is activating spiritual liberation energy with Venus in the 8th, Pluto in the 12th, and Uranus in the 4th. And those of you seeking spiritual awakening and liberation in the sky, wanting to have some spiritual relationship to God and wake up, this is a nice little sort of sweet spot triangle for the moksha, the liberation, to happen. But it can also just equally liberate you because you have a financial gain that allows you to change your home and where you live, especially because, Jupiter is giving you good fortune financially right now in the house of winning money. You have a Juno thing going on at the top of the sky, could open up an opportunity for a relationship that is going to be committed and stable and enduring, but also it's still Venus and she's hidden. And so the hidden aspect of Venus is interesting. It could indicate that you may engage in a relationship on October 13th to November 5th that is still not going to be shared with the world, but it will be at some level committed between you and another person, right? It's just kind of low-key hidden from everybody else. And there is something going on with that 4th house, unexpected changes coming to where you live, basically. And it may be connected to a romantic love story because of Venus, but it may be also connected to a chunk of money that could come to you that you don't expect. And again, whether you win it, it's an unexpected inheritance, I don't know. But if there is that, like we have Orcus, the Punisher of Broken Oaths with the South Node here. So this could be money coming from a sibling 3 older than you, and it could be money coming because Orcus is also a wealth god. So there's some kind of money that you don't expect showing up unexpectedly, and it may radically influence where you live or where you want to live, indicating a potential relocation coming through October 13th and November 5th through the things that occur. It doesn't mean you have to relocate then, but a shocking new possibility. You might want to move to another country, a distant shore, or a foreign land from some unexpected prosperity opportunity. And finally, some money may come to you from your spousal situation that is unexpected. Again, it could also be from their family of origin, from the in-laws, or from money that your spouse has but didn't know, or you didn't know, and your spouse goes, oh my God, I forgot about my life insurance policy. Well, they'd be dead if that happened, but some kind of unexpected gain there as well that influences you in a positive way. And that's what I got for you. Let's go ahead and draw a card. And don't forget, this is not just a short story. It's the 13th of the month of October through to about the 5th of November that what I'm saying applies. Higher consciousness, 21, Sirius, Pleiades, and Arcturus, 21. I told you had all of the moksha houses activated in a beautiful way. So for awakening and stuff, let's take a look at number 21. 21, 21, 21. Here we come. Here we come. This card urges you, Pisces, to step into an elevated consciousness and above personal challenges and grievances. Well, good idea. In observing challenges from a higher frequency, healing unfolds. This card carries the energy of the mystic sage. When you raise your frequency, it's much easier for your crown chakra to open and connect you to higher frequencies. Your intuition is expanding. Trust it. Beneath the surface, all is well. The card will also appear when entities of higher frequencies and from other dimensions are reaching out to you. So Venus is in the house of the dad, right? So again, maybe you're hearing messages from the dearly departed over the Halloween season. These wise beings in spirit are working with you to resolve physical and emotional challenges. Listen with your heart. And when you get caught up in life, take a moment to look at the stars. Simply being open to star energy can change everything. All right. Thanks, guys, for listening. I don't have an outro today. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Today is one of those days where I just want to get out from underneath the hammering above my head, which finally stopped, and maybe take a detox moment in time. I'm having a foot massage later today, so that could help. Ciao, ciao, everybody. Bye-bye. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thank you.